Introducing Signify SunStay Pro Gen 2 Mini, our first Signify branded outdoor luminaire, placing Signify at the heart of our professional portfolio.
What we see in road and street is an opportunity for a much more intimate product, while maintaining the same characteristic that's occur in SunStay Pro, with a smaller form factor, but with the same performance characteristics.
The application of the SunStay Pro Mini is different than the application from the SunStay Pro. So we are more aiming at pedestrians, bicycle lanes.
But also think about education campuses or professional other campuses where people walk around and there's a much more intimate lighting solution required.
SunStay Pro was for us a completely new category. Compared to street lighting and urban lighting, we needed a new identity, a form language.
It's different because it's a different category and it has different technologies. Think about the solar panel which will be on top. There's a battery to store the charge, and there is a controlling system that ensures that power consumption is optimized for this product.
We really concentrated on some clear lines and tension surfaces in between, which make sure that the volume stays quite small for these big batteries in it.
So the benefit for the customer is, of course, energy savings. Using the sun doesn't require to pull energy from the grid. It is also hybrid.
But from the other side, the big advantage is the ease of installation, and it also has a multi-sensor underneath, which captures motion. It also calculates the tilt angle of the product and so on. So it's compatible with the multi-sensor of Signify.
To produce the very first luminaire with Signify brand, it's a big pride for our team. We have a strict quality control process where we take care of every single detail to bring an amazing product into the market that needs to last for many, many years. Sustainability is built in every single step of the luminaire. First, we use aluminum, that is a recycled material. Second, we use plastic-free material for packaging. And last but not least, all the electricity of the factory is produced by renewable energy.
Around sustainability, the other benefit of the SunStay Pro is that it provides access to lighting to more people. The off-grid solution allows it to be placed in places where we cannot cables in, so a remote area, and hence provide the value of lighting, for instance, to provide a much more safe environment for the people who are walking under our lights.
It's not just light, it's how light is lived.